Right. See, it all goes to pot. We're just like, we're just a big mess over here.
It sounded like
It did.
it really did.
It's fine. We're all fine.
It's okay. It's a cold potato.
Oh, you're getting these reads around here. Okay, ladies. The cake is chalavi. I mean, it's carrot cake with the top is chalavi for those lactose people. Oh my gosh. It's incredible. Thank you. Thank you. And we'll talk about why it's carrot cake. Well, I'll tell you why it's carrot cake. It's carrot cake because, believe it or not, carrot, which is a vegetable, also has a shir, has a song in Perek Shira. Yeah. So there's wheat. So basically, right now we are. Sorry? Technically declined.
It is recorded.
This being is being, okay. So we're Baruch Hashem, we're very thankful. And we want to show our gratitude to Hashem that we got to finish learning about Perek Shira. And we're gonna all each say something short and
All of us?
Three of us.
You want to share, Miriam? So we want to all, of course, all our learning and all the mitzvos and everything we're doing now. We want to send out the bracha and shefa to the chayalim and to the hostages, and that Hashem should put in the leaders' minds the right ideas, and that we should all have, everybody should have their big Yeshua. Okay. Okay, Susie is going to go first.
Okay, so I'm just going to talk a little bit about some like basics, like Perek Shira 101. I'm going to talk the what, who, how, and why Perek Shira. So first of all, what is Perek Shira? It's a compilation of Pesukim, and it's about all the different elements of nature, and they all declare their Shira. And Chazal saw a purposeful design in every aspect of creation. And we start with Perek Shira, we start with the inanimate objects, and then we go to the plant life and to the sea, then the sea animals, and then the crawling animals, and then the larger animals. There's a progression, and it pretty much follows the order of creation. It does not follow exactly, but in general, that's what it follows. And so who wrote it? Of course, there isn't consensus on this. Like, why would there be? But but it's generally thought that it was David Melech and Shlomo Melech, and most of the Pesukim are from Tehillim, which are David Melech. But some people do believe that it was compiled later, and that it was kind of like put together later, because also some of the Pesukim came after David Melech and came from the Nevi'im that were after him. So how long is it? It's 85 elements of nature we have in Perek Shira, and we, with Doba's guidance and passion and enthusiasm and study, led us through all of them. And there's 6 chapters, which is like the 6 days of creation for Hashem Rest on Shachs. Now, why is it called Perek Shira instead of Pirkei Shira? Because after all, there's 6 chapters with, we call it Pirkei Avot. We don't call it Perek Avot. So why are we calling it Perek Shira? So Rashi said that all the praise that we offer Hashem, no matter how great and grand and intensely and comprehensively we praise Hashem, it's like not even like a fraction of who Hashem really is. So we consider all of this praise of all of nature and of us and all 85, all of it. We consider it just as like one perek of what the praise to Hashem could be. And another reason is because of nature is based on unity and harmony. The laws of nature, everything is like unified under nature, and so that we and we have the unity in Perek Shira, it's also something unified. It's like all one, all together. So we say Perek instead of saying Pirkei. Now, Perek Shira enables us to use the natural world as a means of getting closer to Hashem. When we say Perek Shira, however often we are going to like change and grow from our experience of saying Perek Shira, and it gets us in touch with the unity and purpose in creation, and can also from that also help us in our own lives with the purpose of our own lives. Okay.
That's excellent. Okay. Aura is up next.
So explain what I'm gonna do.
So the sefer I've been using the most is there's a lot of different books on Perek Shira, and usually they're like this, which means this is Art Scroll. Art Scroll has one like this that's very big also. Most of the time, Perek Shira looks like this. It's a whole bunch of pictures, right? That's the joy of saying Perek Shira. When I say Perek Shira, that's how I like to say it. I like to say it with the pictures because you're like, wow. And then you turn the page and you say, wow. And then you turn the page and you say, wow, like it's all the. So there's a Rebbetzin Shoshana Tugendhaft from England, wrote a book, This Fat,
Which I didn't take today.
on Perek Shira with no pictures. So that's the book you want. People have asked me, I want to learn Perek Shira. That's the book you want. I mean, this is nice, and you'll get a little blurb on each thing. It's wonderful. But if you really want to know Perek Shira, you're going to get that book.
Say her name again.
Rebbetzin Shoshana Tugendhaft. Her husband is Av Beisten, and her husband's also part of Kesher Nafshi. That's people who know what that is. Anyway, so I went out of my element, and yeah, I get a lot of credit for doing this, but I wrote my first email. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Listen, I cannot say that I did it myself. My husband showed it to me, and then I said, well, how do I know she got it? No, you can't know that. I'm trying to figure out if can I send this on email?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, I have no clue. To me, it's like no idea. Anyways.
YouTube, press share under.
Okay, right. I'll whatever.
Yeah,
I'll get, they say get your, 4-year-old grandchild. They know how to do stuff. Tova's also part of the group. So basically I wrote Rebbetzin Shoshana Tugendhaft, who has her email in the book. And I told her that we're doing this siyum, and she kvelled. She mamish kvelled, and she said she called us. She said, but the Ramchal called, or the Maharal. No, the Ramchal called his Kavri, called them the not Rachmei Hashem. Now I'm forgetting it. And I'm going to send this to her. It's in there. Okay, so she'll read it. The people who try to get close to Hashem. And she was just thrilled that there's a group of women in Tzfat learning her sefer. So she wrote me back a beautiful letter, and Ora is going to read it.
So at first, I just want to say really thank you to Doba, because this book has brought a whole nother level of awareness for me. And I'm like really into nature, but I can't tell you how many times like reading this book together and watching Doba, the tears come out. It is such a connection to Hashem that many of us who are in the class just now, we want to do it again, and we're going to do it again because the depth of this book, I feel like we just skimmed like the very, very, very top, and we all said like we need to do this again. So I really encourage all of you, because the connection of nature and you become so aware of listening and hearing the sounds of nature and connecting it to Hashem in a whole different perspective. So this is the response that Doba got from the Rebbetzin in England. Thank you so much, Doba, for reaching out and giving me the nachas. I invested so much time and heart into researching the Shiros of Perek Shira, so I'm very moved to hear that the Torah is spreading far and wide. That's her joint hymns. I'm very moved to hear the Torah is spreading far and wide, and especially that it's being learned in the holy city of Tzfat. What words can I share with you and your holy group of Mevakshei Hashem? Mevakshei Hashem, as the Ramchal's secret group was called. When I first met Perek Shira, I felt right away its magic. It starts off like a bird's eye view, looking down at our beautiful world each morning and seeing the heavens and earth, then seeing the deserts and fields, then seeing the seas and rivers, then admiring the clouds, the lightning, the stars, the sun, and then flying down and focusing in on further and further on the details on the ground. The plants, the birds, the animals, the slithering things in the undergrowth, literally an epic sweep of nature. Many Siddurim have Perek Shira at the beginning because the pious men would recite it before Shachrit.
What?
Because many Siddurim have Perek Shira at the beginning because pious men would recite it before Shachrit as they opened their eyes and again felt an appreciation for the magnificent wholeness of the world that we live in. But they also felt the world was alive with spirituality, with the energy of the Creator, the presence of the Creator, and also with the special message that nature was crying out to them. Whenever my husband goes to the sea and sees it for the first time, he bursts into song and sings V'kolet Mayim Rabim. When I was learning Perek Shira, I told him that it must be his neshama was intuiting the Shira of the sea. The sea elicits this response from us, and we can hear it. I have a theory that the Tanim who wrote Perek Shira lived in the Galil. I mention this in the book, the Perek about the birds. We know that the Mishnah and our Breshis were committed to writing in the century after the destruction of the second Beit Mikdash. At that time, the Romans banned the Jewish people from living in the southern part of Israel, in Yehuda. Even the Sanhedrin had to abandon Yavne and move up north. All the Tanim lived up north at that time. Perek Shira is a Brisa, so it bears to reason that it was written down in this period. Now look at the chapter about the birds. Even in ancient times, most people would not have come across such a variety of birds unless they lived in the Galil.
Wow.
The Galil is part of the route for migrating birds.
Wow.
Google tells me that an astonishing 1 billion birds migrate over Israel each year. I was fortunate enough to go and see the cranes in the Hula Valley one evening after Sukkot when they were all there. Wow, what a sight and sound. So my theory is that the nameless Tana who wrote down Perek Shira lived very near where you live and where you are learning this holy sefer.
Wow.
Additionally, so many of the Shiros speak of a longing for Mashiach and to avenge the bitter enemies of the Jewish people and comfort Yerushalayim. These are the strong yearnings of one who lived in the aftermath of the Chorban and the Gezeros of the wicked Hadrin. Most of the Perushim on Perek Shira are deeply Kabbalistic. The Mekubalim go crazy for Perek Shira. They see it in the link between our physical world and the higher world, precisely defined. There is a tzaddik buried in London called the Shatzer Rebbe, and people go to his kever to daven when they need a big Yeshua. He too wrote a Kabbalistic perush on Perek Shira. He was very interested in going to the London Zoo to see the animals because of its interest in Perek Shira. When we say Perek Shira, we need to know that we don't know how holy it is. In my book, I look within the writings of Chazal to find out what teachings they perceive in this particular Pesukim. And I ask, why did they teach us in Perek Shira that this element in nature bears this teaching? This is certainly one way to listen carefully to the messages inherent in creation. The nations of this world are becoming ever more aware of just how precious and beautiful nature is, how it is a delicate, perfect balance that we must not damage too much in our greed. While the green movement takes this a little too far, putting the survival of animals and plants ahead of the survival of humans, we can still say that the value of appreciating our incredible planet is something Chazal was aware of, but they understood Hashem's hashgacha and wisdom on even deeper levels. I wish you every bracha and only besorot tovot. Our hearts are in Israel with the soldiers in Gaza and our soldiers in the Golan. May your learning be a huge zechut for all our people in our land. With warmest wishes, Rebbetzin Tuga.
Can we get a copy of that?
Do you guys want to like learn another sefer, like write that person?
Get a copy of that.
Okay, I don't know how, but,
No, I'll start to figure
okay.
No, but what did you write for that?
I didn't write about, first I wrote her and then she wrote that. I didn't respond yet because I have to.
Later.
That's
What
I'm
do you
gonna do it,
say to them?
but-
I know.
You know, what do you
I
say to
was gonna send her like after the.
Tell
CM
her
stuff.
that you read it. We had a seal and you read it to the whole group and everybody
Yeah.
was, what people wanted
You wanna
copies
do
of
that?
it.
No. Okay, right. Tova's been in the group also. Leia's been in the group also, and so has Shira, who's not here. Okay, so Tova's, I think he's gonna do the horse.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, so is this.
Stand up, we could see you back.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm finished, yeah. Okay,
People who are online cannot.
All right, but there's more of us.
That's okay. I'm sorry. No, it's going viral.
So she'll hear you.
Okay.
I didn't have a perush on Perek Shira, so I didn't, but it seems to me very clear what the connection between the horse and what he says is, but one of them and the other one I don't. Okay, so the horse says, is from Perek of Tehillim, Gimel, one of the Shir Malot, third one, and it says, Hinei inei avadim al yad donehem, kenei shipcha al yad givrata, kenanenu al adonehinu ad yichanim. That I don't have an translation, but I'll try. Here the eyes of the servants are on their masters, their master, but they're plural, okay? Like the eyes of the female servant to her master, female master. Also our eyes are to Hashem until he grants mercy, I guess. Okay, so
And everybody, please put your phones on silent.
all right, so the Malbi, I think, was the one that I did like to see very much is the horse. Okay, he says on this pasuk in Tehillim that what was it? That this is the hand that sometimes it's hitting you with a stick, and sometimes it gives you your food and your bread and your food.
So the same to Hashem. If he ben merochem, if he merochem is mercy, or if he's using din and he's giving us mussar. There's a lot of art. I don't know if you
Echt blauw. Dat is al echt blauw.
לא, צלצל לכם פה משהו?
תודה רבה לך.
Fire Torah, he doesn't get it.
He's got a fireman, somebody called the fire department, and said for the fire, they're just looking for the fire.
Eish HaTorah.
It's a holy fire, holy fire.
All right, back to the.
okay. All right. So just as a
Public house? Bobby wants to drink.
as a servant are dependent on the hands of their masters, and he can easily, because he's the first one that's able to give them. So also the female, the shivcha, so I don't know exactly what this said, that her master, the female, whatever you call her, I don't know how you call a female master, she's not the first one to give them. She has to get from her. She has to get from the dome, the master. And so the shivcha is going to her. And so we go to Hashem, even from, so that we know that that Hashem is the Adon, and he's the first one. And in between is the ladies. And is okay. So, all right. I just want to read that. Also, the Avshech I thought was very interesting. So a horse is like, a horse has to, he could get hit if he doesn't behave, and then they want him to go faster, and he also gets his food. This I thought was, I don't think Kadesh do the horse, but I really like it. It's like the Avadim. So it says that we have it in here. It's plural. Adim are plural. Avadim are plural, and then the female, the shivcha, givrata. She's female. She's one. She's single, and she's a skinny. So it was during the time of Esther that when they had the decree, so all the Yudim were on one side, and then Mitchananim to Hashem. They're asking for Hashem, so it's a group of them. But Esther, she used to go alone, and she went before the Melech, and so was the Melech, that she went to the Shekhinah. And then we have the pasuk, which you also read, I think, from Kavdet Bet, that she says to her, okay, why have you left me alone? And yeah, so and that's how we are to Hashem. That not a Hashveros, but everything is from Hashem. I thought that was very
nice. So
Can I say something?
yeah. Oh, of course.
So I can tell you, I like it so very much. So I wanted to study again for the beginning. So we are doing this to be great, because the more you study, the more it penetrated on your soul and your heart. So we decided to start it again from the beginning. So everybody is welcome, I think, to join us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so I made carrot cake.
Delicious.
Amazing. What the recipe on?
Almost gone.
Almost gone. Okay, well, there goes the piece for Judy and Yaakov. Sorry, guys. So I wanted to tell you that carrots sing Shira. And she says in the book that, like if you have your carrot cake and you make a bracha on it, so we know that we're bringing out the holy sparks of the carrot and of the wheat, of the carrots that were in my fridge that I peeled and grated and toiled over to make this cake, right? But if you say the shear of the carrots, you're raising up all carrots. That's another power that Perek Shira has. Like she uses the example of chicken soup, that that if you say a bracha on your chicken soup, you raise up that chicken. But if you say the shear of the chicken, you raise up all chickens. And it happens to be so. What is the shear of the vegetables has to do with a karas hatov. And it's from Tehillim. Telemei Revei Nases Geduda Berevivim Tim Gogena Simcha Tivrech. You water its furrows abundantly. You settle its ridges. You make it soft with showers. You bless it with growth. Basically, I'm not going to go into it because we're running out of time. But basically about like that wonderful Rashi about how Hashem created everything but did not create rain until what? Until man came to appreciate it. And I have such a karas hatov to Judy and the Bas Medrash. People who know, Alana knows, people know I did not know how to read Hebrew very well at all. I did not forget about teaching, my learning, everything all came from Judy and the Bas Medrash. So karas hatov for Judy, and she said she had this message that she wanted me to give over, that she's like, she gets very impressed and very that people finish things. You start something and then you finish it. So like she was very like a mazel tov to everybody. There's a creature that's missing in Perek Shira. Us. Man.
Oh.
It's a big question. Like, well, where's man? Is it because there's no Shira for Leah and for Doba, and there's no Shira because Hashem, in her words, she says there cannot be one song for man, right? There cannot be a one size fits all. Each one of us has to write our own song. It says, let us make man. Who's us? Every creature, every human being from the beginning of existence. So basically, Hashem could give us the tools, and then we have to do what we have. So basically, each one of us have to write our own song. And it's and the bottom line is, this is what we have to do. We have to each write our own song with whatever Hashem gave us, the people in our lives, the talents that we have, the chesronot, the things that we're lacking. If there's a reason why Hashem, I will not ever become a basketball player. It's just not going to happen, like whatever. I just don't have the height for it. But I know it's sad.
Otherwise, you could have.
All right. Thank you. But we're all supposed to write our own song. Perek Shira teaches us that we have to figure out why, and it could change also, but we really have to do that. We really have to write our own song. And the last thing I want to say, as Tatiana is like being the Judy of the day, is there's a whole bunch of shirim. One of the kef about teaching Perek Shira is I had to research things from all over Tanakh that I would never do. And one thing was, there's a whole bunch of creations that are from Yeshaya, and the one that we all know, which is very popular, is Nachmu Nachmu Yamar Elokechem. You should be comforted, which is really. I actually said to somebody yesterday, I said, I feel like I'm already in the 3 weeks, which is we're not supposed to do that. It's not the 3 weeks out. It's almost. So the bat, your and my favorite animal, right? Says, comfort my people. So first of all, it says, Yamar Elokechem. You will say. So it's not just like when the Beit Mikdash was destroyed, Hashem was saying, don't worry, you'll be comforted. No, it's for all time. It's even for now. So when we're going through a hard time and we're thinking of the hostages or whatever, this is Hashem is with us now. And it's so important to remember that. And it says, Nachamu, Nachamu. Why twice? So this is a medrash that's going to blow your mind. Who needs comforting? Me, meaning Hashem, or them? If someone's wife dies, who do we comfort? If not the husband. It says, who needs comfort if not me? Hashem is asking his people to comfort him. Yeah. So basically, it's like whatever we're doing now, and when we're in that space, which is like icky, whatever, just remember we're not alone. We're with Hashem. And what should we do? We should learn some more. We should maybe dance. Maybe we should say more Tehillim. But whatever we should do. Why? Because the Shekhinah is in Galus. And it's not just us who are suffering. It's also Hashem, because Hashem also wants this to be finished with. And somebody said to me, Shana Kemedzi said to me yesterday, she said, we know the ending. We know it's good, but we're having a hard time getting there. That's the icky part, whatever. So basically, there's nothing like having something like Perek Shira and getting into all the different whole gamut of the universe to put us together and make us feel grateful of what everything we have. And it's like Ora said, it's like all of a sudden you're going to go outside and there's more than one kind of clouds. And there's like all the different things that you just like ding ding. It's like your everything becomes magnified. And I don't know about you, but I don't have time, koach, to sit and watch National Geographic. I'm not interested in watching half-naked pygmies and stuff like that. So here you get to learn Perek Shira. You get to learn all about the world in through the eyes of Chazal. So thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
This has been
Maybe Judy will say more, but I'm telling you, it was beautiful and very meaningful. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you. Now we have a couple more announcements. Elisheva.
Ephraim Stark is now in a facility in Tiberias called North Kinneret. And